Sup boys, Ludo here with the Assassination PvP guide. As you know, unfortunately I'm not rank 1 rogue, but hopefully this will help you out to reach elite by the end of the season. So let's get going. First things first is, how is Assassination Rogue right now? Well, compared to, I played all of them, compared to Sub Rogue, it's definitely weaker at the moment. The damage is good, but unfortunately we just have less CC. We just have the less locking power, less burst. The burst is good, but it's on a longer cooldown. It's not as often, right? So that's the issue with Assassination Rogue right now. And honestly, I have a big issue with the Crimson Tempest that it's often, you know, spreading to pets instead of players, and I think we need prioritize, you know, we need a change on Crimson Tempest that is going to priority the players over the pets and stuff like that. So that's my big issue with Assassination Rogue right now. Okay, so basics, race. Which race is the best? I'm currently playing Night Elf, as you know. Night Elf was always goated for the rogue, but how the more popular the rogue is, the better the orc is, because, you know, in a orc versus Night Elf matchup, orc wins, right? So if you're gonna play an orc, you're gonna counter other rogues. You're gonna have an edge against them, right? Now, in a non-rogue matchup, the Night Elf will be the best. Okay? So those two would be the best. Orc, we get the stun reduction with the Blood Fury. Nice, goes up very nice with our Kingsbane, with our Death Mark, right? And the Night Elf with the Shadow Melt, into a cheap shot, into a stealth, garrote, whatever, right? Very nice. Now, if you don't want to play any of those, the third best option probably would be the human, because, well, at least you get the stun removal, secondary stat boost is always nice to have, right? Some passive damage. And you can use unused trinket instead of medallion. Okay, so now for the stats, we will be running full mastery verse. Yeah, I have really low mastery, but then again, that's because I was playing sub first, you know, I had different gear. But definitely you'll wanna, you know, anything that you can, go mastery verse. If you can't, if some piece has a haste or a crit, you can craft that into verse mastery, right? With the Thalassian, like this, for example, these braces, right? Everything that doesn't have mastery, you want to craft mastery on it, okay? Whole gear. So that's for the stats. Not much to talk about, except, well, we're just gonna go these two stats, very simple. They're best for this Assassination Rogue. Okay, now for the tier set, we'll be definitely going with the 2 set. Okay, 2 set is super nice. Personally, I won't be going with the 4 set. Doesn't seem that good, right? Doesn't seem that good. Because anyway, Mutilate and Ambush, they're really low damage. Okay, they're really low damage. But if they get buffed in the future, we could see the 4 set play. Okay, but for now, 2 set is the go-to. Now, which 2 set? As you see, I have shoulders and I have legs. Legs is wrong, because again, I was playing this on sub. So instead of legs, you want to go with the head and shoulders, okay? So these two, head and shoulders. And then once we unlock the 4 set, if, you know, these things get buffed and the 4 set is the play, then you will want to go with the legs and the 4th pick, which I'll type down because I'm not sure right now. I can't remember all the stats, right? So that's gonna be it. Now for the embellishment, I'm always running Arcana Weave or Devouring Banding on all my characters. It just depends how much gold I have in the bag right now. You know, Arcana Weave was super expensive at the start. The prices have dropped, I think. So I think maybe it's slightly better than the Devouring Banding, but you know, the difference is so minimal. It's like 0.001%. It's really minimal difference. So just pick one of those two. It's no big deal, right? Now for the enchants, we'll be definitely running speed on head, shoulders, and feet. Agility on the legs and on the chest piece. And for the weapons, I'm running, again, agility enchant on the weapon, okay? For the ranks, just depends how close is your mastery or verse to cap, okay? Which of the stats I have more? If I have more verse, then I might, you know, enchant mastery. If I have more mastery than verse, I'm kind of low on verse, I'm just gonna enchant verse. Very simple, right? Same for the gems, guys, right? Literally the same. Oh, my versatility is low, boom, I'm gonna go versatility plus mastery. Oh, my mastery is a little bit too low, I'm missing some damage, boom, I'm gonna go mastery plus versatility, right? Very simple. I think that's it. Obviously, we want to run one of these enduring heliotropes for that passive damage reduction. And as you see, I'm running unused trinket. Just goes in well with your burst, right? You pretty much get always kills in the burst. Outside of the burst, you don't really get much kills. So, I don't know, I like the unused trinket. Okay. For the hero talent tree, we'll definitely be running Fatebound. 100% of the time. It's just way better right now, and it's more smooth to play, because Deathstalker has a problem that you are locked in to one target, so you have to zag one target. Now, next patch, these things will be changing, okay? So you will be able to move your death mark around. Very nice. And that could make Deathstalker viable. So we'll be going through both of the builds, okay? But right now, at this moment, Fatebound is always the play. It's just way, way, way better. Again, next week, next patch, this could be good. So we'll be going through the boat, okay? So first we'll go on the left 3, right 3, mid 3 PvP talents, and we'll finish it up with the Deathstalker. Let's get going. So we have a few optional talents, and let's see what's good, what's bad, what is essential. So one by one. Shiv, well, we're obviously running that on the Assassination. Now, all of these are set in stone. Everything you see here, pretty much set in stone. It's really good. You need it. Right? They're so good. Now, unfortunately, Shadowrunner, it's not that good on Assassination, and we don't have many optional points. We have only 3. So, in my opinion, we are skipping this. Toxic Stiletto. Honestly, I really like using Shiv. And as you've seen, I'm one of the few guys that I'm running Hemotoxin. Now, it's probably not BIS, but since I'm running that, I like to go with Toxic Stiletto. Okay, if I was not running that, I wouldn't run it probably, right? So, in my opinion, I'm always running this. I like it. So, we'll be running this in this build. Here, we have our first choice node. Again, if you don't like pressing feint, if you're missing few buttons, you know, you could opt for Cheat of Death. And then you're gonna remove this as well, right, for something else. But it's best to learn how to use it properly and run with elusiveness. It's really good talent, right? Better than Cheat of Death. But, you know, again, if you're new, you can definitely start with Cheat of Death. Here, again, we could cut on these. It's not a big deal, but they're super good, okay? So it's better than other options we have here. For example, this 10 energy, it's not gonna be such a big difference like this. Like, this is 1 minute reduction, 30% on the sprint, very nice, and increased duration 4 seconds, really good. But then again, we have only 2 optional talents, and we need to go to improve the wound poison, right? The only time we could cut this is if we're playing with like a double melee combo, like for example Arms Warrior, which has a really powerful mortal wound, and we're just gonna tunnel one target. And at that point you might not need wound poison, right? So you could cut it. That's why I removed it as an optional. But in 99% of the cases you'll be running this as a mandatory talent, right? So we only have 1 point, and I pretty much run it here. Your poisons do like 10% of your damage, something like that. So, you know, this is like 1% damage boost. So that's why I'm using it. Many people are not using this. Okay. what you could do instead is you could go here. I wouldn't recommend it. You could go here. I wouldn't recommend it. This I like, you know, another big slow. Very nice. I like this. Or you could go something like this. We have so many slows in this game that this comes in very, very handy. I really like this talent, but just in Assassination, we don't have many optional talents. We could cut sprint for this. You know, this is a really good talent. I wish we could remove something for it. Maybe this. But I would rather have 1% damage than this. I don't know. It's up to you. Again, most guys run this. Even though I think this is a great talent, I just like that little damage boost. Right, we're Assassination Rogue in the end, right? Now we have a choice node here. And Atropic Poison or Numbing Poison. Numbing Poison is gonna be really good against casters, right? It's gonna reduce their casting speed by a decent amount, so you could run that in that matchup. Tropic Poison, you know, playing against like a melee warrior, demon hunter, whatever, right? Very simple. The lower three, guys, it's set in stone. Okay, we don't even have to think about it. This is what you run 100% of the time, no questions asked. So we covered the left three, what's good, what could we change around. Now for the right three, we have two different builds, I would say. So the first build will be this, with few optional changes. Like, you don't need to run this, okay? It's not that big of a deal. Instead, you could go for this, bonus damage on mutilate and ambush, and this, bonus bleed on mutilate, okay? You could definitely go with this. Now, which one is better of these two? Honestly, it's hard to say. This one could be better if mutilate gets a little buff and ambush. Plus, we are running a 4-set. If I was running a 4-set, I would definitely be going this way. But since I'm not, I think honestly, this is better in my opinion. Now, Poison Bomb could be a good choice. It's decent, but it's kind of RNG, and I've seen many people are running it actually, but I tried running it a few games, and I was like, hey, I'm not getting a lot of Poison Bombs, you know? Because it's a, you know, it's RNG pretty much, right? Sometimes you get 2, 3 in a row. Sometimes you get 0 in 5 envenoms. So I don't like that. That's why I'm not running it. But in the end, it's a good talent. But I prefer non-RNG. Okay? So those are the two optional talents we could put anywhere. Out of any of these nodes, right? I showed you. So you can go in any manner you want. And all of these, don't even think about it. The ones I didn't select. Now, that would be the first build. Okay? Now we have the second build. Can also work, but honestly I prefer... First I started with the second build. And then the first build is this. The one I've started with. Okay? This is what I started with. So, I played a lot of games with this build. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I mean, I'm telling you guys to give this build a chance as well. It's pretty solid, actually. But I started this build when I was non-full geared, okay? Started with this build. It was not bad, it was not bad. But I just liked having 4 poisons. I really like that. Fantasy-wise, I guess, maybe. The numbers were really not bad in this build. Like, it did good damage, especially the execute range. The execute range felt really, really strong. Okay? So this is the power of this build. You'll be closing games, which is the weakest part of Assassination Rogue, way better because of this. This is really good, right? But, I don't know, I just like this. I just like this, you know? So, try both builds. Tell me what you think is better. I personally like this. 4 poisons feels so nice, feels so good. Feels really Assassination vibes. Yeah. Now, for the mid talent tree, we won't be changing a thing. This is pretty much locked in, okay? We could say this could work in some rare occasions where you want to shadow step the healer and shadow step back without wasting a cooldown, right? In those cases, this could be good, but I like this more, okay? So that'll be our Fatebound tree. Now, about the PvP talents, again, preemptive maneuver. Told you guys, if you're running elusiveness, definitely the go-to. If you're not running elusiveness, we can change this, okay? Now, what are we gonna change this with? First thing, dismantle. We need a disarm, right? Boom, very simple. Okay, we don't need a disarm. Maybe we wanna run thick as thieves. We're gonna take Tricks of Trade in the left tree. Okay, this is a very, very solid choice as well. Especially if you're playing 3v3 pre-made, playing with a mage on his combustion, boom, thick as thieves, insane. So in that case, now if you're not gonna play any of these, what can we do? Any of these are actually not bad. I like playing them sometimes, you know. Creeping Venom is okay. It's a big slow. Okay. System Shock. Again, big slow. Doesn't do that much damage, but that slow is really big. 90% for 2 seconds. That's pretty much a root. So it's kind of annoying to play against, I'm gonna tell you that. So, you know, like 99% of the time you'll be running preemptive maneuver. If you're not, you're gonna be running one of these. But that 1% of the games when you don't want to run any of that, you could run any of these two. They're both solid, okay? And like this, that from above. Honestly, I've been experimenting with it. I just don't like it. It's whatever, you know. It's like a stronger Envenom, but Envenom is not hitting much, right? It's not hitting much, so I'm not big on that from above, honestly. Any of these, Dagger in the Dark is not really that good if you're not sub-rogue, right? It could be in a duel, you know, you're gonna cheese and wait for the full stacks. But then again, it's not that great since you don't have that high burst. Everything else, whatever. And there we go, Hemotoxin. I pretty much always run this. I don't know why, honestly, other guys are not running it. I really like it. It's really nice. But then again, guys, probably because they're not running this talent. Okay, so if you're running this talent, I would suggest Hemotoxin. It's really nice. Smoke Bomb, always, no question about it. It's insane, right? Smoke Bomb is so good. You can use it offensively, you can use it defensively. It's amazing. Okay, now let's get to the Deathstalker. Okay, guys, for the Deathstalker, we won't be changing almost anything. Again, it's gonna be the same two builds we talked about in the last chapter. Now, for the Deathstalker, these could be better because we have some ambush / mutilate modifiers. So in that case, we could run these. We have a choice node here, actually. Cloak, 2 seconds increased, or evasion reduces magical damage and cloak reduces physical damage. Obviously, we'll be running this in 99% of the cases where there's a melee, because, well, it's also going to reduce physical damage, and evasion is going to reduce magical damage. Now, this could be good in comps where, you know, cloak is really good against, like removing all the dots, for example, Shadow Priest, Affliction Lock. In that case, like double, you know, double cast like Affliction and Shadow. This could be better, in my opinion, than this. Outside of that, again, we'll be running this mostly. Here, they're both bad, honestly, but I think this one is a little bit better. So I think this one is better. Here, I don't know. And Venom is not hitting that hard, right? But it could help you close the game. Okay? So in that case, this could be better. Now in the case where you want to just, you know, do more damage in general, like through the whole game, you'll be doing more damage with this, definitely, right? 30 seconds. That's a lot. So, This will be a DPS choice. This will be, okay, I wanna, you know, I'm gonna try to one-shot something. So we will be running with this, right? Because we'll be Kingsbanding into Envenom and, you know, building again and into another Envenom. We'll talk about that now. So that's pretty much it. That's what we have for the Deathstalker. Let's get into the most important part, how to actually do damage. Okay, so the most important part, let's try to kill something. So how do we do this? I'll first do it, then I'll explain, okay? So let's start with the cheap shot. We're gonna do one ambush, silence, into rupture, into another. Okay, we're gonna envenom, red mark, Kingsbane, envenom, boom. Someone's dead, bro. Then we're just gonna spam envenom. Alright? So 100k DPS for Assassination Rogue, pretty decent. And remember, I don't have full mastery, right? I don't have full mastery. So, the opener was, we're gonna cheap shot for a stun. We're gonna ambush to get some combo points. Then, after, you know, stun is fading, we're gonna silence to apply that garrote bleed, right? Then we're gonna rupture, so we get the bleeds. Bleeds are doing the most damage in our build, right? Then we're gonna reapply rupture because we want max duration while it is empowered. Okay. Then we're building for envenom. We can always drop a shiv in for the healing reduction. We drop envenom for the poison application chance. Then we're gonna death mark into Kingsbane burst, right? It's gonna do a lot of burst, and then we're gonna envenom again. It's gonna do a lot of damage. That's gonna delete 50% of someone's HP. Then we're just gonna do our normal rotation, you know. The normal rotation is building and spending our combo points. So the building priority we have is gonna be garrote with empowered garrote, right? That's gonna be number one. Then we will have ambush, right? Then we're gonna have fan of knives on multiple targets. And last is gonna be fan of knives. Right? Now, obviously, Crimson Tempest will be used as well when there's multiple targets and we need to spread bleeds, okay? So that's gonna be at the top. If we have the bleeds on one target, right? Rupturing a rod, then we want to spread the bleeds to everyone. That's gonna be priority. Now, once we've done that, we can forget about Crimson Tempest. It's going at the bottom again, right? So that's gonna be our builder priority. Now our spender priority is gonna be, of course, rupture number one, right? And well, envenom. If the rupture is applied, we're just gonna envenom whenever we can. And obviously, if we wanna go for the kill, we're gonna kidney shot, either on the kill target or on the healer. Just depends on the situation, right? Every situation is different. If your teammate CC'd the healer, you're gonna CC the kill target, and vice versa, right? So that's the logic here, guys. Guys, if the video is helping you out, drop the like and sub to your boy. And now I want to talk about something important, bleeds and poisons, so you don't make the same mistake that I did when I started playing out Assassination, okay? So only the last game I found out that I was using the wrong poisons all the time when I was starting out. So when you're using two poisons, you're obviously going to be running wound poison and crippling poison. But what confused me is we're running 4 poisons, right? Not only that, we're going through the amplifying poison tree, right? To unlock all of these. So logically I was thinking, oh shit, amplifying poison is so good, right? And I was running this all the time. Little did I know that I just tried it out to experiment with the deadly poison. Deadly poison pretty much does double the damage. So yeah, you want to be running wound poison, crippling poison, deadly poison, not amplifying, and one of these two, whichever is the scenario bearer. Okay, so that's about the poison. Now about the bleeds. As you've seen in the opener, I got it twice. Why? As you see here, it says it's gonna do 24 seconds, right? But if I double garrote, it's gonna go up to 32 seconds because of the pandemic window. Now, same for the rupture. It says 32 seconds, right? Boom. Let's build points again. Now I reapplied, boom, to 42 seconds. So that's a pandemic window. It increases, like, there's a window where if you reapply the dot, it's just gonna prolong it. And that's around 30%. So, good to know if you want a little bit min-max. Now, let's see how it all works out in open world. Okay, mobility CC, utility, what do we have? So, as we know, Rogue is a CC machine. Unfortunately, Destination is not that hard on stuns as sub-rogue because we don't have Dance, which resets cheap shots and 2 cheap shot charges. We have only 1. But we definitely, you know, whenever we vanish, we kind of want to use the cheap shot because, well, we don't have that much stuns and Kidney is on a 30-second cooldown, right? So, whenever we vanish, we kind of want to use that cheap shot, right? At least maybe on a second DPS if you don't want to DR the main target, or in a healer, you know, we double stun DPS and the healer. That doesn't matter which order. It could be kidney shot on the main target or the healer, just, you know, and cheap shot vice versa, right? Or we can go for the pool one shot, kidney into the smoke bomb into the cheap shot, right? So we DR it perfectly. That's how we pretty much use our CC. Again, smoke bomb can be used in, like we just mentioned, in a CC setup, or even defensively, you know. But mostly you just want to use it, like last resort is smoke bomb defensively, right? For example, you're playing against double cluster, boom, you can smoke bomb, you know, they can't hit you in, right? They can't do anything to you. So in that case, smoke bomb could be good defensively if you're out of everything else, okay? Now, blind, off GCD, very nice CC, gouge, again, very nice CC, but you have to be in front of the target, so you have to be like this, not like this, right? So that's sometimes tricky to use, okay? Now, we could say Shiv is a CC because it's a really strong slow, right? So, that's nice. Other than that, we don't have much. Now, for defensives, evasion, 100% dodge chance, very, very powerful. But, again, you have to be in front of the target. You know, if he's hitting you from the back, dodge is not gonna work. Cloak, very simple, just you're immune pretty much to all magic effects. It's like a bubble for magic. Okay, it's super strong. Feint, we talked about, you want to be using this very often whenever, you know, you're being focused. It's really long, it's really short cooldown, and it's really low energy, and it's really good. It's like a wall that's on a 15-second cooldown. It's really strong, it's crazy. It's really good. Personally, I'm not utilizing it as much as I could, but, you know, that's a mistake, I know. Vanish, we could also say this is defensive, you know, breaks you out of root, slows, all that good stuff. It's not gonna break your stealth, it's not gonna break for 3 seconds. So that's good to know. But personally, in Assassination, I think it's more offensive because of our Garrote. Okay. And finally, Garrote, our silence, what makes us different from the other rogues. You know, you wanna silence pretty much the whole team. Not only because it silences, but it also reduces their damage, right? Because of the iron wire. This thing. So, Garrote is super OP and you have to abuse it. Okay? And Crimson Vial, it's just a small heal, no big deal. But, you know, in some cases it could save you if your healer is CC'd. And utility, of course, Sprint, very, very strong. It's literally 100% speed. Shadow Step, pretty short cooldown. You probably want to keep one charge usually up in case, you know, you want to jump to healer, CC him, or make a Shadow Step kick on something, right? You don't want to always be at 0, so but you don't always want to be at 2 either, right? So you have to be smart about the usage of the Shadow Step. I always like to save one, so I can have one in emergency, you know? So yeah, that will be it for that. Now let's get into macros. Well, for the macros, I pretty much have Arena 1 to 3 for all my abilities, like Blind 1 to 3, Cheap Shot 1 to 3, Gouge 1 to 3, Sap 1 to 3, Kidney Shot 1 to 3, Shadow Step 1 to 3. You know, I do have Death Mark with the well, I need this, I guess. This is from the past expansion, but I guess I've been using it. Death Mark with the unused trinket. And outside of that, I mean, yeah, this is all old, okay? So these are the most important things you need, except Shadow Step 1 to 3 that I'm missing actually Friendly Shadow Step. I should make that macro, now that I think of it. I didn't. But yeah, these are all the macros you need to succeed as a rogue, and it's a lot. It's a lot. But, you know, for... It just depends how high you want to go, I guess, right? Now, for the add-ons, I have my full UI guide, how to set it up exactly like me. Plus, all the import codes are in the Discord, so, you know, join, check that out, say hello if you want, and see you there. Shuffle, Blitz, 2s, 3s, how is Assassination looking? Well, let's start with the Shuffle, and I would say it's like a B tier. It's good, but it's not great, right? It's kind of in a shadow of a sub-rogue, I would say, because you just don't have that one-shot potential that often. You have it every minute, every 2 minutes, while sub-rogue has it every 20 seconds. And that's big in Shuffle. That's really big, okay? Except that you're missing a cheap shot, 2 cheap shots, right? Like sub-rogue, and he gets it on shutdowns. So that's a big thing in Shuffle, okay? It's definitely worse. Now for 2s, it's actually pretty solid in my opinion. In 2v2 it's really good, and you probably want to play with a Priest, Discipline, or even Pressy could work over Resto Druid. In my opinion, those 3 could be the best for the rogue. It's really good in 2v2. Now for 3v3, again, some rogue is gonna be better. But there are certain comps that always work well with the Assassination Rogue, and those are like, you know, rot comps. But first, let's say Mage. Let's get it out of the way. Rogue, Mage. Now the healer changes around. It's always the best one. Like at the moment, it's Mistweaver. Usually, it is the Priest, right? But Rogue Mage is always insane. But outside of that, Assassination is really good with Affliction. Affliction, you know, it's really good with that. It can definitely play with Deathstalker as well. Now, I guess you could play with the Shadow Priest too, but out of those, it's probably gonna be the weakest, right? Or even a Boomy, because, well, Clone. It's also kind of rotty. Boomy does really good DPS, and you know, if you chain CC well, you can score a kill with your Kingsbane and his Incarn, and meanwhile you can just rot them slowly, right? So those options are definitely viable for 3s. Now in the Blitz, I would say Assassination is definitely super good. Again, it's not gonna be on the level of the sub-rogue because you don't have that insane 1v1 potential like sub-rogue has. But you will be better than the sub-rogue in teamfights. Sub-rogue is really good in teamfights. It's the best rogue spec in the teamfights. So you'll be really strong in teamfights. You'll be silencing, spreading bleeds, rupturing everyone. It's really good, okay? So in the Blitz, a little worse in the 1v1, but better in the teamfight, okay? Let's get into strength and difficulty. So, document from the last year, just continuing it, all overwriting some stuff, right? We completed 15 by now, all to 1.8, then we'll do them later to elite. Now, the strength of the Assassination, we've seen sub-rogue rate really high, but in my opinion, Assassination is a B tier spec, and I would definitely rate a 7 out of 10, okay? We could say it's 7.5, we could say it's a 7, but, you know, it's definitely weaker. The Deathstalker right now it's bad because you can't move it around, so it's kind of pointless. I'm just gonna give it a 4. It's really bad right now, but once next week it could definitely go up, right? I mean, not it could, it will go up, maybe to a 7 as well. Okay, we don't know yet. Now the difficulty, in my opinion, it's definitely harder than the sub-rogue right now. It's really harder. You have to take care of bleeds. You can't really zag like a sub-rogue can right now. So I would say it's definitely more difficult. Now, again, it's still not one of the hardest specs around, right? But it's hard, right? So same for the elite. It's a rogue, guys. I put a rogue baseline 6, like it can't get easier than a 6. And that's why Assassination will be an 8, and we'll see how hard the outlaw will be, right? So all in all, I think this is it. Strength, again, if you don't know, 0 is the weakest, 10 is the strongest. Difficulty, 0 is the easiest, 10 is the hardest, okay? Next will be the outlaw rogue. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, drop the like and subscribe. Now we'll be doing the outlaw guide next, so stay tuned for that. And I'll post a shuffle game now in the end, where I finally found out that I was using the wrong poison all along. So let's get going. And deadly poison did more damage than amplifying poison. Interesting. So we're running deadly poison instead of amplifying poison. Now, I don't know if this is worth it. I'm not gonna take it, but maybe it is. Oh no, the Affliction gets the best map in the game for him. Of course, of course. Of course he does. Bro, who are we focusing? Come on, bro. Hello. If I got some help here, he would be dead by now. Like, look, he's dead. Okay, okay. This was not bad, I would say. This was not bad. I was maybe a bit optimistic with the bomb, but we won, we won. What is he doing? Yo, this demon hunter. He's troll. He's a troll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. Oh boy. Relax. Relax. We got the PS already. Very nice. Another PS? Huh, very nice. I'll take it. You're gonna blind? Oh shit. Boom! All calculated. All calculated. Could it be that I was using the wrong poison all the time? Could it be that? Let's see. Let's see the damage in the end. You see, Crimson Tempest doesn't work. It's a broken ability. Let me try the amplifying now without the wound. It's a big ass heal. God damn. The sound is this. Where the bleeds. There's cheap shot. Got a kill! That's how we roll, baby. That's how we roll. Get some practice in now. Okay, okay. Ah, come on! No, why did he stun him? Why did you stun him, bro? I can't kidney now. Jesus, these guys. They're trolling so hard. It's insane, right? Ah, I don't have the shadow step. I fucked up. I thought I did. Come on, get closer. I really don't want to go up. I fucked this up, honestly. You could lose it on me. That's kind of trolling. No, I don't have a trinket.